Hi there. You've read the title, so let's get on with this. This is a little bit of a rant, but it's full of information, especially at the end where I give you some options. In this episode, prices are going up on everything, and of course you already know that. But if you're in the market for a new music computer or you want to upgrade the one you already have, be prepared to torch your wallet. I'm going to start you with some computer items I purchased on Amazon over the past few years and show you in a list and some graphs how prices will make you cry. Let's start with a SSD SATA drive. This is a Crucial MX500 1 terabyte drive. I purchased it on November 27th, 2021, and I paid $84.99. A little over 2 years later, I purchased another one for $69.99. As we all know, prices on older technology goes down as new tech is released and memory becomes cheaper. Devices have more capacity and devices with less capacity aren't as desirable. But if that is true, why is this drive now $349.99? That's a 500% increase, basically 5 times more. On July 14th, 2023, I purchased another SATA SSD. This time it was a budget Team Group AX2, 2 terabyte for only $72 and a penny, which is twice the capacity of the first one I purchased in November 2021 for close to the same price I paid back then. Essentially, it was like $2 more and I'm getting an additional terabyte. It's double the amount of storage. That's how it's supposed to work, but that drive now is $235.99. Even the budget-priced Crucial BX500 1 terabyte drive I purchased June 7th, 2021 for $97.71 is now almost twice the price at $179.99. Let's look at some more recent things that I purchased. A Christmas present for my girlfriend on December 2nd, 2024, I bought her an Acer Aspire laptop. It's at least a 2-year-old model, but now it's selling for $356.22. What is happening? Let's look at some thumb drives I purchased. A couple of Samsung 256 gigabyte fast transfer devices and a SanDisk 512 gigabyte larger form factor drive. The Samsungs have more than tripled in price to $69.85. The SanDisk drive has more than doubled in price to $74.99. Let's turn our attention to spinning hard drives, which are great for recording video, audio, and saving digital audio workstation projects. On June 4th, 2023, I purchased an 8 terabyte Seagate Iron Wolf for $139.99. I believe it was on sale from $159.99, so I saved 20 bucks. Then on December 2nd, 2024, about 18 months later, I purchased another one for $149.99. That drive now costs $299. Now it's time to talk about M.2 solid state drives. This is where I store most of my large sample libraries. I'm currently using 3 of these drives in my main music computer. A 1 terabyte Samsung 970 EVO that I purchased October 27th, 2019. It's a slower drive, and I paid $169.99. It will now cost you $359.99 for 1 terabyte. I also bought a 2 terabyte Sabrent Rocket, and I purchased it March 12th, 2021 for $279.98. That will now cost you $399.99. That's a slightly faster drive. I believe it's a Gen 3 drive, 3,500 megabytes per second. Then the last drive that I purchased was a 4 terabyte Samsung SN850X, purchased September 21st, 2023 for $277.14. That drive will now cost you an eye-watering $599.99. The word out there right now is that storage prices haven't reached their peak. So even while the prices I've given you so far are bad, a lot of people expect it to get worse before it gets better. I don't need to tell you about the political climate right now and the troubles around the world because you already know it, and that's not what this episode is about. It's about one thing: corporate greed. If you purchase gasoline, and I don't need to tell you about prices, but because prices are high right now, people are cutting back a little. They're driving less and they're trying to save money where they can. So why are oil companies reporting record profits? How can that be if they're just raising prices to cover their increased costs? Because that's not why they did it. It was done because they knew they could get away with it. How does this translate to the technology that we as musicians use? Simple. Oil is used to make plastics and transport goods, and that's just to start. But that's not the underlying reason. That's just an excuse. The reason is corporate greed. Told you this was a little bit of a rant. If you live in a location prone to natural disasters like hurricanes in the southern US, tornadoes in the Midwest, or earthquakes and wildfires where I live in California, you know how it works. Every time a natural disaster hits, a gallon of gas doubles and a bottle of water quadruples. Is it because it costs the seller more? Sometimes, but usually not. They simply know they can get away with it. A big excuse you will hear right now is how AI and data centers are scooping up all the available memory resources, aka compute. There's nothing we can do. That's what they'll tell you. That's not entirely untrue, but there's still some BS in there. A part of that BS is how corporate AI can negotiate RAM prices that we can only dream of. It used to be blamed on tariffs, but those got struck down by the legal system. Now it's compute taking all the resources that is making tech scarce and prices higher. If AI folds tomorrow, it's going to be something else. Perhaps the Martian crisis. You know that Mars uses a lot of tech. Ask Cohagen. World corporate knows that if they can create a crisis, either real or perceived, they can artificially inflate prices. It's become part of business these days. Less costs more. If you were a farmer growing strawberries and you needed to work 10 hours a day to make a living to feed your family, you'd work 10 hours a day. If you could sell your strawberries for 10 times the price, perhaps you'd only work 2 hours a day and make twice the amount of money you need for 1/5 of the work. That's where we are right now. Corporate greed. Just you wait until Martians are buying up all the strawberries. Prices are going to go through the roof. If you're looking to build a new PC, you probably have already done some research and you know the reality. The price of DDR-5 memory could be half the price of your system. When I built my current music PC 7 years ago, it was about 1/3 of the price of the system, but that was 128 gigs of RAM for $450. And I'm so glad I did it. Now you're going to pay close to that price just for 32 gigs of RAM. Everything in the music universe is going up in price, except for one thing. It's still the best music value on the planet. You can still subscribe to my channel for free, and I would truly appreciate it. But there's more here. The most troubling thing is how this works moving forward, because we've all seen it before. When this crisis is over, prices may drop a little, but not back to where they were. Now they've got us used to the higher prices. Any reduction is going to seem like a gift, and they know it. I know that what I've talked about in this episode is vastly simplified. Market forces, the political climate, and unrest around the world certainly impacts you and me every day in some interesting ways. I'm simply tired of corporate greed. When things cost more, you pay more in sales tax. The whole thing sucks. Also, if and when corporate entities get refunds for the tariffs they paid, do you think they'll pass any of that money on to us consumers who paid those higher prices? I think not. All right, that's the doom and gloom portion, but you still have options. I wanted to give you the bad stuff, but I also wanted to give you some good stuff. What can you do about this? And here are some things to consider. If you already have a PC, you may be able to upgrade it and make it relevant for a few more years, or at least maybe until prices come down a little bit. I did this on a computer I built circa 2010 with an old Intel i7-920 CPU. That CPU has a pass mark of 2,874, which is just a kind of a value which tells you how much processing power it has. I replaced that CPU with a Xeon 3690, which was a cheaper variant of the i7-990X, the top of the line processor for that socket. And it was compatible. I think I paid like $30 for it on eBay when the 990X was going for like 5 times that. The pass mark score for the Xeon processor is 7,353, so it's a little over 2.5 times faster. That was a significant upgrade, and it helped me with my workload and my workflow. With some additional hard drives and a beefy graphics card, that computer was my main computer until 2019. All you have to do is figure out what CPU socket your motherboard has, and you may be able to upgrade if you're not already running the fastest CPU for that socket. I'm currently running an AMD 3900X CPU as my main music computer. It has a pass mark value of 32,492. I could upgrade to a brand new 5950X top of the line CPU for my motherboard for $284.99. It has a pass mark value of 45,291. That's a 28% increase in the speed. Not as good as the previous upgrade, but better. This is something you have to consider. Is the upgrade worth it based on how much you're going to have to pay for it? For the first example, absolutely. For the second, I'm kind of on the fence, and I don't think I'm going to do it, at least not yet. I could buy one used on eBay. That's a little bit risky, but I might do it. Next, the issue for some people may be that they need more RAM, random access memory. That was the issue with that old Xeon system, and I actually still have it. The motherboard maxed out at 16 gigabytes of RAM, meaning that's all you could put on that motherboard. The best motherboard that would work with that processor would only allow me to have 24 gigabytes of RAM. So I had to build a new system, and I maxed it out with 128 gigabytes of RAM. So glad I did that. Sounds like a lot, but I really need 256 gigabytes for some of the larger projects I do. Large sample libraries can be very RAM hungry. Look on eBay for discounted RAM as well. If you're lucky enough to have a PC that will use server RAM, sometimes you can save a ton of money on eBay. Parting out old servers is common, and they usually basically strip mine the server, and the big items are the CPU and the RAM. Next is storage. If you're out of internal SATA connectors and or M.2 slots, you may be able to add a PCIe card to get more of that connectivity. You can also add external drives via USB and network drives, but unless it's one of the faster port types, you'll probably be disappointed with the performance, especially if you're loading large sample libraries. Next, graphics cards. Usually you can get away with a fairly cheap graphics card for music production. But if you want to run more than one monitor, have higher resolution graphics, or have a bunch of items on the screen at one time, you may need to upgrade your graphics card. And that's a pretty simple upgrade. Last, power supplies. With a faster CPU, more RAM, more connected devices, and a beefier graphics card, you may need to upgrade your power supply if yours won't handle the upgraded components. Get more than you need, just in case you want to upgrade again in the future. I've transferred my current power supply from my older computer to this computer, and then I just put a cheaper one in the old computer. I use a 1300 watt power supply in my music PC. It's ready for practically anything. Don't worry about electricity. The power supply may be 1300 watts, but that's just its rated max power delivery. If your components are only drawing 700 watts, that's all you're paying for. Generally, upgrading a PC is pretty easy. You can't upgrade a Mac very easily without jumping through some hoops. It's also often limited to minor upgrades like storage, like an M.2. Don't give those greedy corporate types your money unless you have to. Upgrading might buy you some time. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate your time. Please subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you in another episode soon. Bye now.